What if some of your favorite albums from legendary artists were unheard, untouched, and not available anywhere? Hard to believe, right? But for many music lovers, that's exactly the situation with some iconic records. Remastering classic albums can bring them back into the spotlight. But surprisingly, there are still many albums from music legends that haven't been remastered, making them harder to find, especially on streaming platforms. In this video, we're diving into 6 iconic artists whose albums have yet to be remastered or made available on streaming platforms. Some of these records have never even seen a proper digital release. If you're a music fan or someone who loves the classics, you might be shocked by what we're about to reveal. Let's get into it. First up, we have the legendary Aretha Franklin, a woman whose voice changed music history. While most of us know Aretha for her big hits like Respect and You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, there's a whole chunk of her work from the mid to late 70s that remains underappreciated. Aretha has 5 albums from this period released on the Atlantic label that have yet to be remastered. These albums, Everything I Feel in Me, You, Sweet Passion, Almighty Fire, and La Diva hold a special place in her career, yet they've never received the digital treatment they deserve. Fans are still hoping that one day we'll get the chance to experience them in all their glory. For now, these albums remain somewhat hidden gems in Aretha's impressive catalog. Next, let's talk about Gene McDaniels, a name that might not be as familiar to everyone, but he was a major figure in the 60s. McDaniels recorded for Liberty Records and had several hits, including songs like 100 Pounds of Clay and Point of No Return. However, many of his albums haven't been given the digital remastering treatment. Albums like In Times Like These, The Wonderful World of Gene McDaniels, and Spanish Lace are stuck in the past without a proper digital release. Imagine hearing those old school hits remastered for modern speakers and streaming, letting us experience McDaniel's rich sound in full quality. It's long overdue. Moving on to Sonny James, the man who blended pop and country music like no other. Sonny's career spanned from the early 50s all the way through the 80s, and his biggest hit, Young Love, was a pop country crossover that dominated the charts in 1956. While Sonny's early work has been released in a complete box set called Young Love: The Complete Recordings, 1952 to 1962, in Germany, many of his later albums still haven't made it to streaming platforms. Albums like The Minute You're Gone, You're the Only World I Know, and I'll Keep Holding On are nowhere to be found in the digital world. Even more albums from his Columbia Records days, like Sing the Greatest Country Hits of 1972 and Sonny James Sings When Something Is Wrong with My Baby, are still unavailable to this day. If you're a country music lover, especially fans of classic country, it's frustrating not to have access to these timeless records. Let's shift gears and talk about Jerry Butler, a soul legend who recently got some of his Mercury studio albums released on CD. 3 of these albums even made their CD debut. But as good as it sounds, Jerry's complete catalog is still far from available. Though 5 of his albums are now on streaming platforms, 10 others are still MIA. These albums, like The Spice of Life and Sweet 16, remain unremastered. While it's great to see his music slowly making its way into the digital world, it's frustrating that so much of his work is still inaccessible. Fans of soul and R&B should be able to access all of Jerry Butler's catalog online. These classic albums represent an important part of the genre's history, and they're waiting for a proper remastering. Now let's talk about the Occasions, a band you might remember for their huge hit Girl Watcher, which peaked at number 5 on the pop charts back in the 60s. While they're known mostly for this one hit, Their entire album, which was released on ABC Records, has yet to be remastered or made available digitally. The Occasions may have been a one-hit wonder, but their music still deserves to be heard. Girl Watcher alone is a classic tune that resonates with many listeners, and it would be great to hear the rest of the album with modern sound quality. Last but not least, let's take a look at the Tams, another legendary group from the 60s with a massive hit in 1963. What Kind of Fool Do You Think I Am? While they were well known for that song, the Tams also recorded several albums, none of which have been remastered. Albums like Hey Girl, Time for the Tams, and A Little More Soul are just sitting out there, largely forgotten by the digital world. These records should be available for music lovers who want to experience the charm of Southern soul at its best. Imagine listening to these soulful classics with the high-quality sound we've come to expect today. It's about time these albums get their remastered moment. And there you have it, 6 incredible artists and their amazing albums that still haven't been remastered or made available on streaming platforms. While we've seen some progress, the music world still has a lot of work to do in preserving and sharing these hidden gems. Whether it's Aretha Franklin's 70's albums or Sonny James' complete catalog, these artists have left a lasting legacy that deserves to be heard by everyone. What do you think? Which album are you most excited to see remastered and available for streaming? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content and those legendary artists who made it all happen. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.